Hey, what's up, you guys? I just wanted to post this video on a post-fight analysis of Mikey Garcia versus Robert Easter. If none of you got the news yet, Mikey Garcia won in 12 rounds by unanimous decision. Um, Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion picture, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without authorization of copywriter. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe copyright under 17 USC 107. Yeah. So, and this is not the Mikey Garcia versus Robert Easter fight. This is just highlights. From what I got from the fight, I think don't be overhyped on this fight. I think this was a great fight by Mikey Garcia. I would have liked to see a knockout by Mikey Garcia. I thought it was not a good performance by. Well, I shouldn't say that. I think Robert Easter came out the first, couple rounds, maybe, and he just didn't show up later rounds, which is shown in his last fight against that one guy where he struggled. He just couldn't finish him. He's not a good finisher, in my opinion, against Class A fighters, good fighters. And honestly, he hasn't faced that many, great fighters. And in that mindset, for Mikey to be calling out Errol Spence, I think it's great for promotion reasons for his name, but it just doesn't sound realistic. Now, does he have a chance of beating him? Of course. Any fighter who fights another fighter has a chance to beat somebody. But at 147, with Spence being that big at 147, and Mikey just fighting a 135 pounder, I don't even think Easter's gone up to 140 yet, and not even being able to knock him out. Yes, he did knock him down, but he landed big shots and he still couldn't finish him. He couldn't finish Robert Easter even when he landed his biggest shots. And like in this highlight reel, this Sergio Olympinets, he hurt him, got him down, but he still went to full 12, and he's at 140. Now we're talking Spence, okay, and you see what he did to, especially what we know, Kell Brook, and that's a big dude, and he's fought a lot of great fighters that are, he's fought what he can, because I think a lot of fighters at 147 is dodging Errol Spence, and I like the fact that there's somebody like Mikey Garcia calling him out, whether I think it's real or for promotional reasons. Either way, it's good for boxing to have people to be calling out other people, even though it doesn't sound exactly realistic. That just helps promote the sport. But to get back to the fight, Robert Easter was not landing anything significant. He landed, what I remember, he landed a straight right, maybe around round 4. That was his best punch. The rest of his punches were little set hooks, and a bunch of jabs. He threw a lot of jabs, but he didn't really throw any feints, and he just looked like a typical Robert Easter when he's struggling. He just didn't. He was gun shy. He fought with no heart. I'm sorry I have to say it, but he had no heart in this fight. He didn't look like he wanted to win, especially for a unifying fight. He looked terrible. I'm just gonna flat out say it. On my scorecard, I had him winning 2 rounds. That was the first 2, and then him getting knocked down in the third. That changed the fight, and he never came back. Mikey Garcia, like I said, the reason why I probably lost the first 2, he was getting used to the height and the reach and the jab, and after that, he was able to time him and obviously take over the fight and dominate the fight. But that's another point I wanted to get to. If Mikey Garcia knocked this guy out and completely destroyed him, I can understand a call out for Errol Spence. But because he dominated him, but he didn't completely. But I shouldn't say dominate. That's a bad word. Because he controlled. That's not even okay. Because he won the fight, okay, by unanimous decision. He did win all the rounds, okay. Besides a couple, okay. He can. I guess he controlled the rounds, okay. I guess his style. I'm not saying he controlled like the ring. I mean like he basically controlled the fight like by winning, okay. By landing the more powerful punches and the more clean punches and the more dynamic punches. But I thought Robert Easter was just gunshot. So um, I just don't see how him calling out Errol Spence is realistic after this performance. I believe that styles do make fights true, but this guy is 135, okay, and Errol Spence is 147, and he's never fought below 147. So we'll see. Viva Mikey Garcia, great fight. I love Mikey Garcia. Uh, but